Right, it is Monday, 11th of May, so we're the day after, and here we are, just proof Snowdonia Half Marathon finishes shirt. Headline is that I did finish, and I actually finished in a time that I can be really pleased with. It was under 2.5 hours, so just over 2 hours 25 minutes. And going back probably over the last 3-4 months, that was the plan. That was the hope that I would be able to be prepared enough that I could finish in that sort of time. Because the only half I'd done before was the Robin Hood, much flatter half marathon. I'd done that in just under 2 hours. And so when I was accounting for the massive elevation profile of Snowdonia, I thought 2.5 would be a good target. It's a weird one because I've done quite a lot of my training preparation using ChatGPT. I think I might talk about that as a main focus maybe next week, because it's an interesting reflection on how you use artificial intelligence actually. But suddenly, even though it's actually been relatively cautious with me and helping me work towards this 2.5 hour profile, the last bit of advice, it said, well, if you're still going to be out at 2 hours, which made me go, oh, do you think I could be sub 2 hours? Which was stupid. I was never going to be sub 2. I had to have part of me deal with that minor bit of disappointment where I temporarily got excited that I could do really well. Actually, doing 2.5 is very good for where I am. The course was beautiful. I went to uni in Bangor for my first degree, and I love it around there anyway. Couldn't recommend it enough. It was a really friendly event, lovely people, and I was really pleased because I've been doing all this training where I've been trying to run to my sense of effort rather than constantly watching my watch. And I did that pretty much in this half marathon. I did have the auto laps, so I would see what my pace had been for each mile, and I'd look at that quickly. But aside from that, I probably only checked something on my watch I only did that maybe 5 times in total. And one of those was just double checking what the total time was when I passed mile 10. And when I realised that I hadn't yet gone over 2 hours, it made me think, okay, actually there is a chance of doing this in the sub 2.5, which was lovely. The hills, they'll talk about the hills. It's so true. I had thought I might try and run the whole thing, but actually when you get to the last hill in particular, having already done 11 miles and then there's a 16% hill, there was no way I was running that. I think I got up about 100 metres at the most before, then I just power walked at the rest. My thighs are really hurting. I think that's probably the main thing that I know is a limiter for future running. I would need to get some proper strength training in, I think, into my legs to be able to do this kind of run better. But the overall message is that I did it, really happy. Learn a lot about how to train for these things in a way that I think will be really helpful going forward now over these next couple of years. I would do it again. I might do it in 2028 as part of the build up to the Ironman. We'll see what the plan is when I get there. But really recommend it, and I'm pleased with myself. If you like that video and want to hear more about my story over the coming years, please make sure that you hit subscribe on the channel so that the videos will always appear in your feed.